dear. I'll get it right one day. I'd left my wobbly camera on. The script that switches between the two cameras, so that when I put it onto the intro screen, the wobbly camera script put it back to the wobbly cameras. So there you go. Morning everyone. Let's turn that down a bit. Right, so what we're doing this morning. Let's turn down. I've turned down the drone, which is the West Best, because what I wanted to do this morning, and I've done this before, it's the... So what you can hear at the moment is all sine waves, basically. I'm limited to 6, because I've got a buffered multiple that only divides out a maximum of 6 CVs. So morning. So let's okay. Milo. I know Milo was the first in the chat, but I think YouTube just deletes it after a certain time. So morning to Milo, Rich, Steve, Luke, Davy, Atomic Sounds. Got your name somewhere. Where I've not put it on the list, have I? It says looking at the list. Oh, dear me. Yeah, anyway, yeah. And Michael. Oh, it's Jacques. Hiya, Jacques. Yeah, so I'm just looking at the levels. It's a bit quieter, isn't it, the sequence? So I did take it down a bit. So yeah, that's made up of 6 sine waves, basically. I'm using the disting. I've got 4 disting. I've got two Mark 4s, two Mark 3s, 2 Mark 4s, 2 EX. So I'm using the 2 Mark 3s, the 2 Mark 4s, and I'm using one of the EX in dual mode, so it behaves like 2 distinct Mark 4s. So they're my 6 sine waves. And then I've just got Metropolis playing a little ditty there. Just so that it was doing something musical rather than just a drone. And because because I'm sending obviously pitch CV out from Metropolis, I've got to go into my buffered multiple, and then I've got, as I said, it's a Maleco buffered multiple I've got, so it allows you to you flick a switch, and you've got, it's an option. You've got one. You can either have 2 in, and then 3 separate out, so you could run basically 2 sequences into your buffered multiple, but then it's divided into 2 sets of 3 outputs, or you flick the switch and then you've got 1 input and then 6 outputs. So oh, thanks, Luke. So I mean, there's nothing interesting about this particular sequence or this particular sound at the minute. It's quite basic, and I've literally got no LFO set up anywhere. So the mix of the sines is as I have mixed them on my little mixers, and I'm a bit challenged with what I've got within the modular. So I'll try and explain a little bit of that. So obviously I've got my 6. I've explained the pitch CV. So all these red ones here are the pitch CV going into the X input on the distings, and then I'm using the A output, which is the default for sine wave. Each one of those. So I've split it up into 2 banks, because I've got no 6 input mixes. I've only got 2 mixers, which would take 4 inputs, and one of the mixes is the A138A, and the other one is the B. Now the A is linear, and the B is log, or exponential, sorry, it's exponential. So the way I understand it is, the A mixer, the linear mixer, is really for mixing CVs, as opposed to audio, just because of the pots that are used. There are linear pots instead of a logarithmic pot, or whatever, mathematical shenanigans. But it'll still work. It's just that all of us, the way the pots work, the exponential mixer is supposed to get like a sort of like an even volume increase over the sweep of the pot, whereas with the linear one apparently you won't. So whatever. So what I had to do then this morning, well, last I did this a bit yesterday actually, because I'll tell you about last night in a bit. I was in about 7 hours of live streams last night, not streaming myself, watching other people. So I did a bit of this in the afternoon, and there's a couple of little challenges with this setup. So bearing in mind that I want clean sine waves added together, the mixers and indeed the VCA impart distortion to the signal. So what I had to do then was do the first banks first, the first 3, let's call them. So bank 1, bank 2. So bank 1 into mixer 1. By looking at span, I would look at the volumes of the peaks, and I would adjust each input level, just to give me sort of like a level peak. But what I found was, if I wound up the level of the first one high, it would be okay until I started to bring in the second one, and then it would start to distort. So morning Tom. Yeah, so it was a bit of a balancing act, and then so I had to do that for both of the mixers, just to get the levels right, so there was no distortion, so I have clean sines. And then it was the same with the. So what I've got is now then. So I've got my 2 little mixers taking the 6 oscillators, and the output from each of those, the A131 VCA allows you to have 2 inputs. So what I've effectively done there is I've managed to mix my 6 into 2 sets of 3s, what with 2 out, into the VCA, 2 into the VCA. So I've now got, so at the moment it's just 1 input. These are the 2. One's the Mavis, one's the West Pest, so they're not even, they're turned right down at the minute. So that was this morning's challenge actually, because yesterday actually, by the end of yesterday, what I'd done was I was using the Ivo filter to do the job of the VCA, because you can do that with filters. You can. They're not a VCA by any stretch of the imagination, but they do a similar thing by taking the cutoff right down. It cuts the sound out. You apply a CV to it, and it opens up the filter, and you get that thing. And it's got 2 inputs on it. The Ivo's got 2 inputs on it, and one of them has got an input level. But I wasn't happy with the sound I was getting out. It wasn't clean enough. So this morning I then went down the VCA route, and that's when I had more problems, because, well, if I put the CV, say, into the gain that's got no attenuation on it, so I'll just pull that out straight away. Well, not straight away, but too much reverb. So I have to use the CV2 input, which allows me to attenuate the level at which the VCA opens, to try and keep those sort of like clean, if you know what I mean. Right. So, why sine waves? Well, what I'm attempting to do here is it's a little bit of additive synthesis. So rather than using filters to subtract harmonics, I'm using sine waves, which then so you start off with the fundamental, so this leftmost distinct here, that's the fundamental, and then I've got 5 partials, and off memory. So basically, what we've got is the fundamental, an octave, and then we've got that's a parcel. I knew this was coming, so bear with us. I got that out way early, actually. Not expecting any more parcels, I don't think. Morning, Klaus Voltas. Have I said hello to Tom? Morning, Tom. Wabbit. Hiya, Wabbit. Oh, have you? Morning, itinerant. Nice to see you here. Yeah, so, where was I? Remind me. Let's playing the mixer, the oscillator. Oh yeah, sorry, the partial. So we've got the fundamental, or the root. The first partial is an octave above the fundamental, and that's basically based on. So, sorry, I'm working on the formula of so it's F is the fundamental, the second partial is F times 2, the third partial is F times 3, the fourth partial is F times 4, and so on. So you basically take the frequency of C, which is 66 point whatever, and you times it by 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. I'm not sticking strictly to the formula at the moment. So what I've done is I've quantized each of these, manually quantized. I've not used any quantizer. So I've manually tuned these to the nearest half tone. So off memory, that's so that's C, C, G, C again, so that's 2 octaves, and then this is when my memory starts to go a bit wobbly. So that's C, C, G, C, E, right, E, and then a G. So that's the full range of partials. So what I'm going to do now is let's stop this sequence, and I'm going to switch to a where are we? Get to a C, right? Okay. And if I so theoretically, if I open up the gain, around at me span. And what I'm going to go to Reaper now. So, a bit educational, this, isn't it? Which I don't normally do educational because I'm more educating myself, really. So let's go to. Oh, morning, Klaus, Kay. Oh, David Poole, hello there. Thanks for tuning in, and Keith. Hello, Keith. Yeah, it's not going to be. I don't know. As always, I'm just going to see how this goes this morning. So it might develop into something a bit more performative. Is that a word? Performative. Just made a word up, I think. So I'll try and sort of like wheedle in a some kind of a performance later on. But I wanted to just explain this. Additive synthesis, because it might be interesting to some of you guys. I don't know. So let's go to Reaper. So there's my Reaper screen. I'm on my creaky chair, so I can lower this down a bit. And what I've got open here now is I've got a tuner, I've got an oscilloscope, and I've got span. So if we look at span first, so hopefully we'll see. So there we go. C, that's an octave. C4, so that's C3 effectively. Ignore the tuner. The tuner's an octave out for some reason. C3, C4, so that would be G4. This will be C5. And then we have E5 and then G5. So they are effectively your first 6. So fundamental and then first 5 partials. This other stuff going down, so that is the noise floor of my reverb. So if I turn the reverb off or mute the reverb, that'll disappear, he says. If that's because of these, so that other stuff might be the guitar. Oh, I haven't got the guitar channel plugged in, have I? So I don't know what's happening there. But anyway, yeah, there's a bit of noise up there as well, so maybe that's me my sound card. And then this little peak down here, what's that at there? It's way down. It's it's below minus 84, so you can't even hear that. So there's the, probably turn that off, but no, I tell you what, I won't turn it up. It's quite annoying listening to this stuff. But, I think you get the idea there. So there's my, my little sound that I've made with additive synthesis. So to change the timbre of the sound, you would then basically just alter the levels or take partials out. Just let me, so the oscilloscope's going mad at the minute, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull everything apart from the yeah, I love mackerel. Anyway, well, tin mackerel anyway. We very rarely have fresh. It's just too handy in the tin. Let's went off at a tangent there. As per usual. Let's pull all the well, not pull them. I mean, I'll just, what I'll do is I'll just lower the levels of the mixer. So keep your eye on the on span. And I'll turn around so you can see me big fat backside. And I'm just going to take down all the levels. So I'll start with the top partial. So already you can hear how that changed. Yeah. Next one. Again, it's funny really. So whether it's the old brain playing tricks, you know, you don't hear those notes until you take them out, and then when you take them out and put them back in again, you go, oh yeah, okay. So let's take these out one at a time. There you go. And so on. And what we're left now is, you'll notice, the oscilloscope stopped jumping around like a mad thing. And I wonder if I get a bit that little peak down there might be a little bit of distortion on one of the circuits somewhere, but anyway, yeah, so that's now a nice clean sine wave. So so where would you take this? Well, if I had a mixer that had CV control on the level, then what I could do is use LFO to bring the pitch in and out. So, oh, sorry, each of the partials over time. Go back to that. Yeah, so I don't have a mixer with voltage control on it, but what I do have is I've got all these filters. None of these filters are being used yet. So, you know, the mental thing is, I guess, is that with a sine wave, you don't use a filter because there's nothing to subtract. It's just one. It's just one wave. So, you know, there's no other partials. It's just one, you know, whatever peak. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep. I won't bother messing around with the. Actually, I just realised I do actually have. I've got my dual VCA. So I have actually got. So I suppose I could try and use the VCAs that I do have with LFO on the VCA. So let's try that. So let's take the first partial, and I'll put that into the signal in of my first VCA, and then I'll take the output of that and put it back into the mixer input that I took it out of. And actually, what I should have done first was brought it up in volume. Yeah. So basically, mix it. So have you fell asleep yet? Not missed anybody yet. I think so. Yeah. So what I'm going to do now is take that back out of there, put it into the signal in, take the signal out from there, that VCA, and put it back into that input. So it's mixed. So what I'm looking at now really is using LFO to bring that up and down. So let's put now the dual VCA, it's the A1. I'll tell you what, this I forgot about this, didn't I? Can't see what I'm doing. There you go. Yeah, it's the 132-1. So you've got no attenuation on the CV inputs. You have two CV inputs. So you could have an LFO at one speed and then another LFO at another speed. But there's no attenuation on it. So I will probably have to use some of my own attenuators. So but let's see what this does first. In fact, what I'm going to do now is I want to switch back to Reaper. Hold on. So, so on Reaper now, you will see the second partial going up and down. Yeah. So that's working. Let's do the second one. Sorry, the second partial. The third sine wave. So again, we'll mix that in so it's coming up around about the same level. out there. Take that out, put it into the other, because it's a dual VCA, so there's effective, so there are, you know, dual, it's two VCAs on this. And then I will put that back into there, and then put the LFO out of there and into there. So there you go. So now you can see those two partials going up and down there. Now I've only got one VCA left, I think. Yeah, I've only got one VCA left. Is there anything else I can use as a VCA? No, not yet. So it's just going to be the. So from this, I'll do this one more VCA, then I'll be onto the filters. So again, I'm onto the next one now, onto the next mixer. So let's bring that up. There you go. So let's take that out of there, put it into the other VCA. I mean, it's got two inputs, but I don't want to be. I want to separately control each sine wave, so it's just a single VCA as far as this is concerned. So audio out. Now I might be careful with this one because this does have gain on it. So what I might have to do is just bring. Well, it does have an attenuator, so that's a positive. So let's take another LFO out of here, put it into the CV2, and then wind up the amount. Now, so you can see the distortion there. So I'm going to bring that down a bit. Actually, it might be the. Oh yeah, it's the input on that. It's the. So that distortion is within the VCA, I think. So I need to set that back again. Okay, now from here on in, we're on to filters. So I'll just use the simple A120 VCF from Dopefer. So I need to bring up that fourth partial. There we go. Oh yeah, Tony, I am a. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, we're just doing some sine wave stuff here, Tony. Some sound design stuff using just sine waves. Now then, yeah, sorry, yeah. So I've brought up my fifth partial in the mixer. So what I need to do now is put that output into the audio in of that filter. Now if I open up that filter as well, so it's maxed, make sure the resonance is right down, and then I want to take the outputs of that to put it back into the mixer. So you can hear I've got that full belt. If it hasn't got yeah, it's got some noise on it now, so that's not good. That's not good. Oh, it's the level here. Right, it's the level. Sorry, yeah. So I want to try and take those spikes down. So still a couple of little spikes down there, but hopefully they're not going to be audible. But now I can use the filter cutoff to act like a volume control. Those spikes are starting to cheese me off a little bit, but whatever. I'm not going to worry too much about that for now. So now I need another LFO going into the so it's getting, I mean, you know, for what is effectively just a single monophonic note playing patch, this is quite complex. Let me just speed up for a minute so I can see. So I'll have to do. So we're on to the last partial now, and I'll use the, I think I'll use the another dope for one, and I'll probably use, so let's mix it, let's bring it into the mix. This might sound totally crap at the end of this, but we'll see what happens when we put a sequencer on it. I'm hoping to be pleasantly surprised, but I'm as much in the dark as you at the minute. I have done this before, but it was some time ago. So I brought that level up of the last partial, the fifth partial. So now I need to put the outputs of that into, now I've got to choose my, hold on, I don't know. Tell you what, let's use the polybox. Take the resin, it's just easy to use. We'll take everything down, the input in there, and then the output back into the mixer. So there you go. So let's take that down a bit. Fingers crossed, this might work. So I need another LFO. Let's use the triangle from there. Then so yeah, bit mental. And actually, maybe these LFO should be a little bit faster. I'll explain why. Well, I won't explain. It'll become apparent when I start playing the sequence, I think. So, what I need to do now is take my gain down and start the sequence. There you go. I think it works. Morning, Chris Nelson. Put that reverb back on it. So, 35 minutes and we're finished. I can go now. But yeah. Yeah, like I said, I mean, that's a lot of cables for just one monophonic sequenced patch. So, what do you think? Is that okay? Yeah, nicer with the reverb. Everything sounds nicer with the reverb, Klaus. Yeah. So definitely, you know, definitely usable, I think. What happens if we just let's slow some of those, I can't, I'm not doing January. Oh, it just stressed me out last year so much. Let's slow down some of these LFOs a bit. There you go. Actually, looking at the level in OBS, it's quite loud, though, isn't it? So what now? What now? Track. I can turn these off now, can't I? I've had enough of these. I'm sure it's better than a bleep, Rich. Yeah, I won't be taking a day off. I've got stuff to do after this. We're doing a bit of tidying up and what have you around the house. I'm not so bad, thanks. I'm a bit tired. Wow, I mean, let's talk about that. There's Mavis, Auntie Mavis. Yeah, let's put the other camera on. Yeah, Tony, wow, what up? And everyone, I tuned into Reaper Vlogs live stream, so let's move over here. Must have turned my camera around a little bit. Yeah, so 5:30 UK time. Tuned into John Tidy, Reaper blog. As the name suggests, he does all stuff that's Reaper related. That took me up to 7 o'clock, well just after 7 o'clock. Then it was over to the Me A Sine, aka Pro Synth Network, run by Robbie Buricelli, I think his name is. I can never pronounce his second name. And there's a couple of people he had in his chat. So that took us to around about 9 o'clock in the evening, and then it was straight over to the Blackpool EMOM, run by Jamie Geosynths. What a cracking set that was. Finishing off with Andy and Grace, who basically did some modular stuff. They were the headliners, did a 30-minute set, and that took me to about don't know, just after midnight. And then I went over to the pub for about half an hour. And the synth addict, not synth seeker, synth addict, the guy over in the States, over on the West Coast, he did a virtual pub. I managed to stick that for about 30 minutes, and I thought I need to get off. I then set my alarm for 8 o'clock this morning, which is very, very rare. I never set alarms for the weekend. I just let my body get me up, and I'm usually up well in time for sorting this stuff out. But I had a few bits and pieces to do downstairs. Have a wash, obviously, get me breakfast, and set this up and deal with any issues with this thing. And hopefully the OBS worked. I completely ignored there's an update. There's an OBS update, and it asks you, do you want to install the update or remind me later or skip? So I clicked on the remind me later. I thought I'm not updating OBS again now, because it was updated a couple of weeks ago. So when he's sleepy. Well, I sleep. I mean, I get at least 7 hours of sleep. Morning, Graham. You've missed all the build up to this. We've kind of. So the first 35 minutes was spent explaining what all these wires do. So what I've done, Graham, is I've used 6 separate sine oscillators to create a single additive sound, which is what that's. If I take the drone out, so that's basically a total of 6 sine waves, and I've used LFO and VCAs and filters to bring each one of the partials in, and then it's just a bit of a drone, because we do drones, don't we? Yeah, and that's where we are now. Basically, wondering what I should do next. I suppose I could do some guitar practice on top of this. Because I don't want to go. I don't want to go yet. It's too early. It's not even 11 o'clock. I'm not even an hour in. So, Klaus is saying guitar. Let's have a bit of a mess, eh, with guitar. I'll put guitar thingy in. Pants off time. Disconnect it all and build a new one. Yeah. Morning, Rafa. Yeah. So Yeah, so Rafa, I mean, if you've only just joined, I mean, it's basically 6 separate sine waves all mixed together. Key change? Oh my God, Tony, what are you saying? Get out of here! Not do key changes. Yeah, so it's what you hear is purely sine waves. Nothing else. Oh, yeah, I've got distortion, but we haven't got any reverb on the guitar. Too loud, Susie. Yeah, they're going through reverb. So I'm not doorless basically. I don't have a mixer, and I don't, with sends and stuff. But it's all hardware. Apart from perhaps I've got some EQ at the moment on into the reverb. So yeah, so everything's the modular. The sound source is the modular, and I've got a Lexicon MPX 500 hardware reverb, but I use Reaper to send a signal out to the reverb and then back into Reaper. So Reaper and my audio interface is acting as my mixer. Yeah. So yeah, I'll go through it again very quickly. Shouldn't take too long. So hang on, Rafa. Apologies to everybody else who's already heard this, but I mean Graham was a bit late as well. So yeah, so what I've got is right. I should explain that I'm using all digital oscillators. So the oscillators are digital. They are from the distings. I've got a total of, I've got 2 Mark 4s, 2 Mark. Sorry, start again. I've got 2 Mark 3 distings, 2 Mark 4 distings, and 2 disting EXs. So each one of the distinct Mark 4 and the Mark 3s and Mark 4s are set to the B7 oscillator. Well, actually, I think it's 4D or something, or 4C. I think it's 4C with the Mark 3s. Slightly different set of algorithms in the Mark 3s. But basically, the A outputs, the default is sine. And then the distant EX, I've set that to dual mode, and I've selected the 2, again, B7 oscillator algorithms. So I've done it in order of the partial of the fundamental and the partial. So we've got the fundamental on the first Mark 3, which is C, and then I've used the formula of this, so that each partial is then the frequency times by 2, frequency times by 3, frequency times by 4, frequency times by 5, frequency times by 6. But then I've manually quantized that to the nearest half tone rather than sticking strictly to the formula. So that equates to C, octave C, and then 5 steps above that, or whatever. Is it 5 steps? 5 whole? Well, I can't remember. It's a G anyway. So C, C, G, C. So now 2 octaves above, C. So that's C, and then we've got E, and then G again. So C, C, G, C, E, G. Those outputs then go to 2 separate mixers, because I haven't got I'm just working with what I've got at the minute. I don't have any posh mixers and stuff. But I do have I've got 2 A138 mixers. I've got the linear one and the exponential one. So 3 of the outputs go into one of the mixers, and then the other 3 outputs goes into the other set of mixers. So what I do then is I actually mix each level so that they're okay on span. They're all around about the same level, and it's important that I do that with no distortion, because what you can do with these mixes is you can actually impart distortion if you have levels that are too hot. So you've got to carefully balance everything. So then what I did was then the 2 outputs from those mixers go to one of my VCAs, which will take 2 inputs, which are then again I've balanced those to get me a nice flat, sort of almost flat set of levels for each of the fundamental and the 5 partials. I've missed a step out here, but basically that was the basic setup. But to be able to get each of the partials coming in and out over time, I've had to use what other VCAs I've got. So I've got a dual VCA, the A132 dual VCA. So the fundamental, I don't change that at all. That just stays at a constant level. But the first partial, so I take so the first partial really goes into the VCA, the first dual VCA, which I then use LFO to open and close the level. The signal out from there then goes back to the mixer. So sorry, I should have explained that I was missing out that step. The outputs don't go directly to the mixers, they go to either a VCA or a filter. So the first 3 partials, the first 2 partials go to the dual VCA, the 3rd partial goes to the other VCA, which is the A130 linear VCA, which again has LFO on it to change the level of those of that particular partial. And then for the last 2 partials, I've had to use 2 filters instead of, so I've run out of VCAs, so I've used a low pass filter, the A120 low pass filter for 1 partial, and then the Polyvox, the Edicosynths Polyvox Black filter for the 5th partial. And that's it basically. So then Metropolis is providing a basic sequence. The gate out just goes to one envelope generator, an A140, and then that goes to the main VCA where all the inputs come into. So that's given us the plug, and then the pitch output from the Metropolis has to go to it's a Moleco buffered multiple. So that allows me to put 1 control voltage in, and then with this little switch, it allows me to get a total of 6 voltage pitch CVs out to the pitch CV inputs of each of my oscillators. And in fact, it's the buffered multiple that is the limiting factor for the number of oscillators I can use. If I had a buffered multiple or more buffered multiples, I could then bring in the second EX, for instance, and I've even got, mind you, I can get a sine wave out of warps, but I'm not too sure that it's pitch CVable. I'm not sure. So yeah, that's it basically. I think don't think I've missed anything there. So let me just sit back down again. Was that all taken in? Was that helpful? Just reading the comments. Make sure I not missed anything. All right, Tony. Yeah, Tony's gone off to do his taxi or dad. See you later, perhaps. Just got me a MIDI breakout for my Distant EX. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, that's yeah. I made one basically, but I really need to buy one because I have problems with it. It works, but it's the MIDI out and through thing that I just don't quite get. So I might just go and buy a couple of MIDI breakouts for my 2 Distings. Okay, so Rafa, I'm a piano, keyboard, synth player, but I've never really gotten into modular stuff. Yeah, it is super exciting. It's I mean, as we've talked about before here. I mean, you can see my what I call or what everybody calls fixed architecture synths. I've got 3 altogether. So I've got the JP8000, the OB12. Now I've also got a Novation Nova desktop synth, which is down in my rack just there. They're not being used at the moment because I'm on a modular kick at the minute. I've got the Mini Brute, which is my eldest lad's, which is off at the minute as well. So don't count that as modular. And then I've got obviously the modular, and then I've got the West Pest and Mavis. Mavis was a new addition just a couple of weeks ago. And what isn't on at the moment says no, I've not done another sequence. So this is just in darkness at the minute, Beat Step Pro. And I've got a key step hidden behind the... Did you see my Christmas tree? What do you think of my Christmas tree? There you go. Christmas tree there. Christmas has eventually made it into the studio. So, it's massive, basically, Rafa. I mean, it's... What's the box below the OB12? Is that what, the one with the orange light on it? Or oh, you mean this one here? This is Mavis. This one here, you mean, Tom? But yeah, I mean, the problem with modular is though it's not cheap. It's quite expensive, and yeah, it stealthily adds up. I'm not sure whether you can. Let me go back to the camera. Okay, so Tom, you mean this box here, Tom? I'll give you 30 seconds to answer that. Okay, Rafa, that's not a problem, mate, and thank you very much for tuning in. Yeah, I mean, I just... Oh, thanks for the sub, dude. I really appreciate that. I mean, I don't... I'm a bit of a bumbling idiot at times, so you have to take me as you find me. And every now and then I do something that's useful. So Tom, that is my Roland MMP2 mic pre, and what I use that for is exclusively for Elements. So most of my modular goes through this little handmade passive attenuator, but because Elements is basically a stereo module, I give that its own special place that goes into the mic pre, and then the mic pre is connected to the back of my second octacapture via a coaxial SPDIF cable, and that's what gives me my total of, what have I got now? Is it 20 inputs, something like that? 18. I think I've got 18 inputs. So yeah, keep the questions coming. Your tree's bigger, Klaus. Yeah, well, my missus through the rain last night. So there, here's a tree for your studio. Oh, all right, okay. Little battery operated thing on it with the lights. Well, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. What goes along with this little ditty? It's a ditty, isn't it? It's funny, really, because it's showing. Maybe it's because it's just sine waves and it's not a fully, you know, it's only 6 partials. So on the meter of Reaper, it's telling me that it's currently what, -12. Oh, morning, Gaz. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, nice one, Rich. Yeah. Well, you're doing the right thing anyway, you know, with the sound-wise with VCV and what have you. It's not just... What else do you have? Oh, is it not VCV you have? I'm just... Graham, yeah. Yes and no. So, the Disting EX has an effects algorithm. In fact, actually, while you've mentioned that. Sorry, Klaus, I'm putting the guitar down again. Let's try some delay on this. I have delay on the HX effects pedal, obviously, but let's put the wobbly camera on while I'm doing this. VCV, voltage modular. Yeah, I knew it was, yeah, I thought it was the two of them, yeah. So, this output here, let me select. Now then, it's, which one is it? There's a, multi-effects, right. Now, I haven't got a bloody clue how this works. Oh, you have to bear with me. Just let me have a look at the manual. Because I've not used this. I never know. I keep saying, you know, gotta use it. Just gotta use, you know, just if it's just for the delay. Let me. Where am I? Oh yeah. Manuals. Euro rack. Disting. EX user manual. There you go. There we go. Multi-effect. What is it? Dream machine, filter bank, polywave table, granulator. Oh, there you go. Multi-effects. Oh dear. Right. Okay. So we've got. So connections 1 and 2 are stereo outputs. I'm not really bothered about the stereo outputs, but so the X inputs effectively, or the 1, that's the input. So let's just try that. Ooh. And I guess no, let me have a look at some of the settings first. Try routing. No, I haven't got a clue. Pitch, blah blah blah. Reverb. So I want to effectively turn reverb off and just have. So bear with me a second. Maybe I should have read the manual a bit more. So what, let's just try it. So I'm going to put that into, you know, tangled up here. Spaghetti. So that'll go into there, and I need to take an output then from into there. Let's see what this sounds like. Okay. So if I'm at, what BPM am I on here? 120. Let's turn that BPM down to about 100. And obviously, I'm not syncing the, I'm not even sure whether you can sync it. Have a look. Reverb time, no. So, someone get a pencil and paper out and a calculator and tell me I want to do a dotted eighth on 100 beats a minute. I could just dial it in, couldn't I? Let me have a look at some more of these. It's reverb down, really, don't I? I think what I need to do is, I'll leave that at that for now. But what I should really do is hit that manual and work out how I can get a mono input with a stereo ping pong delay output. So yeah, that's something for the future. I don't want to sort of like bore you lot with it now. Morning, Chris. Thanks for tuning in. So it's not that many pages. It's, what I say, it's about 6 pages. 450. Well, it's, yeah, it's kind of. Where is it now? Why is it? It says 500 milliseconds. I thought I'd change that. Delay time. I don't get it. Oh, there you go. Alright, Tom, so that's 450 milliseconds. It's It's okay, isn't it? It works. So yeah. So to answer your question, Graham, I do. So I've got the multi-effects algorithm in the Distinct EX in my second. Well, in either of the Distinct EXs, obviously. What I sometimes do is I sometimes use elements as a reverb. But other than that, no sort of what you would refer to as effects, like reverb, chorus, delay. So the only other so-called effects, you could probably call them effects, are the filter effects, and then there's warps where you can do like ring mod and stuff like that. But yeah. So, alright, Tom. I don't know what happened there. I changed it to a mono input, and when I went back to check the delay time, it was back to 500. So whether that's what changed it, I don't know. Because it seems like the default. The default delay time is 500 milliseconds. I need to get my calculator out, don't I, and do a little spreadsheet for, for the delays, rather than just dialing them in. Let's shut this manual down so I can see what I'm doing here. Yeah, I get your point there, Tom. Yeah, it just had a little bit of interest, doesn't it? Sometimes it does it, sometimes it doesn't, inspiration wise. What I should really do actually is just check the now that I've got it's peaking in my limiter, so let's bring that down to about there. The sequence just doesn't come through the mix, does it? Just looking at its span. maybe, I'll tell you what I'm going to do now. I'm going to try putting it all up an octave and see what that does. Might go out of tune a bit, but they're supposed to fret pretty well. I mean, they are digital oscillators anyway. So I want to take them all up an octave. Cheers, Wabbit. So the guitar could actually come up a little bit now, actually. I mean, everything's top mix-wise. Let's stand up for a bit. Let me off my backside, off the creaky chair. Aren't you, Mavis? Maybe I should get the Beat Step Pro going. Let's not do that at the minute. What time are we on? This is where... So the first half hour actually went quite slow because, I don't know, in a way it was absolutely boring as hell. Oops. Oh dear me. And then all of a sudden, once you start doing this kind of stuff, the time flies by, so it's not quite half past yet. I'll make sure that's on properly there. Is that right? No, it's not right there, is it? Guitar straps. That's not right there, is it? Dum, 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 dum. Excuse me. Excuse me a moment, please. That works. Morning, Alex. ATM. Hiya. Klaus. Needs some percussion, doesn't it? Needs a nice kick drum, admittedly. But that sort of vibe. I've lost all the timing of the original sort of downbeat now on the sequence. Yeah. Maybe I should make that a C. Elias. Yeah. Kind of come to a bit of a standstill now, really. Maybe I should bring Mavis in on the Beatstep Pro. Man with beard. Finally caught me show. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, mate. Yeah, you missed a whole load of stuff. Mainly sound design, really. Nothing much by way of performance. Yeah, so as the title of this live stream suggests, the main sequence that's playing now is all sine waves. A total of 6 sine waves. All mixed and blended together, with LFO bringing some of the partials in and out over time. So that's what you can hear on the sequence. Jimbo, hey up. Oh, thank you very much. Cheers, dude. Did you buy that one? Amazing. It's done pretty well, that album, to be honest. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for tuning in as well. Nothing like this what I'm doing now, mind. What's up with this fucking headphone? Basically, all I'm doing today is, I mean, so the initial thing was to do the sine wave sound design thing. Which I managed to get done by about half 11. Oh, someone's calling me. Who could it be? Oh, spam caller. That's good. Just cancel that. Yeah, so I've got that sequence going with the sound. So this is all basically all these cables now are just to get that one. So if I pull that out, that's the sequence. So all that's left really is the drone of the Mavis and the West Pest. So yeah, quite a complex patch. So Telly, right? Okay, Telly. I have to write that down because I won't forget. I won't remember that. I will forget it. Space in my paper. Man with beard. Telly. That's me. Oops, that's my list there. It's got to go into a spreadsheet really because it's. I just can hardly read it anyway. All right, Tom. Yeah, so it's. I mean, I'm a bit vain. I check my stats every day, and I've noticed that someone's been ploughing through me my selection there, wondering when that. You think, ooh, somebody gonna buy me stuff or what? I mean, it's cheap as chips, isn't it? I mean, you can buy the whole collection, which is 18 releases, I think, for like. Is it 16 quid or something like that for download? Cheap as chips. But I mean, some of it's not very good, so maybe you're getting what you pay for. The last 3 albums are probably my best. I get to this point usually on my live streams that I just noodle along to whatever I've been doing with this lot. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot in there. There's a lot to tell you, a lot to sort of keep up with. And you know, I mean, I could just call you Man with Beard or Beardy Man, but I try to wheedle everybody's first names out of them on my channel here. Not everyone's forthcoming, but oh, culture ships, right? Okay, Tom. Well, that's a strange one, isn't it? Because yeah, one thing I will say about my stuff on Bandcamp, I'm always on a voyage of discovery, really. So I don't like pick a genre and then just kick the backside out of it. Well, perhaps I do. I mean, I've really kicked the arse out of drone stuff recently. But yeah, when I created Culture Ships, I wanted to have a dabble more with like strange sounds and stuff. There's still some, you know, there's still musical elements to it. But yeah, I do like that myself. I've not listened to it for a while, because I do listen to my own stuff, but I've not listened to that one for a while. Hey up, Thurston. Yeah, I'm just faffing around at the minute, really. Kind of run out of ideas. Klaus K made me get my guitar out, so it is an old one, yeah. I mean, I say old. I mean, how long have I been doing? I think 2015. I uploaded my first track to Bandcamp. Just a single track, M81, which is just totally not what I've done since then. M81 was a bit of a, that was like the end of my trying to make proper stuff, and then I went down this ambient stroke experimental route. Morning, John. It's drone as usual, yeah. Bandcamp doesn't distribute. SoundCloud is supposed to distribute, but the amount of plays you've got to get there before they start doing that, and it's going to be like a constant. It's not it's not much, but I get very little plays there at SoundCloud, really. The last track that I uploaded there, which was also the last one I uploaded to YouTube, Sirona, that's had about 240 listens since I uploaded it last week. So that's quite a few listens, that. But eventually it'll just drop down to, you know, just a couple of listens a day. And for that number of listens, they don't distribute. I'll be honest, I don't really care for distribution, so I don't use DistroKid or anything like that. I don't care about Spotify. I know I'm cutting my nose off to spite my face there, because it's still so-called getting your music out, but I'm happy with just Bandcamp and SoundCloud and YouTube, really. Yeah, flat Eric, yeah. Look at him, his legs akimbo at the minute. Yeah. Come on, don't be... Stop it. That's better. Yeah, so I probably don't put enough effort really into the distribution side of things. So I rely on just myself, really, minding everybody, hijacking live streams and making myself known there, and Discords. Although I'm not on a lot of Discords, to be honest, either. I'm probably active on about 3, really. The Synthera one, Luke's Synthseeker Discord, and the Reaper one. Yeah. Oops. Yeah, Mr. Me. Must be timing as well. That, Luke. Morning, Erwin. Hey up. What time is it? Should we see if we can introduce something more interesting on Mavis? Get a little sequence going. Whew. I tried something different with the lights this morning. Didn't really need that on, did I? I'll turn that off. Oh, look at that now. Yeah, morning, Erwin. Good to see you. So, what was I going to say? Yeah, Mavis. I need. Let's put Beat Step Pro on. Oh, that was interesting, wasn't it? Now then. Oh, right, yeah, that would be an idea, wouldn't it? So, what am I on? Sequence of 1. So, if I'm using the beat step, so now I need to set the, let's stop the Metropolis, and I need a clock out, and I use the drum sequence thing for the clock. Where am I? Clock. Shut up, West Pest. Now, oh yeah, I need to change that to external. So let's just play this a sec. Let's start that playing. And if we go to drum tracks, that should start the. But it isn't. So why is that? It says. Yeah, so I've got the clocks coming out. Oh, wrong one. That's why. Oh, was it the wrong one? I couldn't. Excuse me. Bear with me. 8. So it's that one there. Yeah. Okay. Right, okay. So if I stop that now, there you go. Reset. Okay, let's go back to that. Let's play. So, nothing going at the minute. But if I change to drum pattern 2, that'll start off the. And it's a little bit, you know, that's the Metropolis really. And I don't know whether Luke finds this on his Metropolis. But if you use like a 16th beat clock into the Metropolis, it takes a bar or so to settle down. So it's okay now. Let's stop that. I probably shouldn't have done that actually. Need to reset it. Go back to 1. So start that playing again. And go to pattern 2. Yeah, so it takes, like I say, it takes that 1 or 2 bars to get into what's the names. Oh, so what do they have now? So let's get. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, so this worked from last time really. And I haven't changed this pattern from the last time I played it last weekend. So the only sequence that's new is the Metropolis one that I did this morning. elements going as well. Get a bit of a drone going here. That's interesting, Luke. Yeah, I mean they've probably improved it. Yes, Telly. Yeah, the GP8000. Yeah. I mean the reason why none of that's turned on at the moment is I'm trying to. This is mainly for modular. These streams at the moment. I'm trying to build up to inspiring myself for my next album to do everything just on the modular and the 2 semi-modulars. So nothing else will be used, and I won't be using any modding packs. Yeah, I won't be using any sort of like software effects. All the effects will be hardware. Hey, that's okay, Elias. Yeah, I'm going to be chatting away all the time. What was I doing then? I sat down for something. What did I sit down for? Oh yeah. I'm at another channel, aren't I? Reaper. No, Pat. You will never find me doing an EMOM. I'd love to, but well, my live playing days are well and truly over. It's just not practical anymore. Yeah. I mean, I would love to have modular effects and a modular mixer. Modular mixers are fantastic. But my God, they cost so much. Yes, John, the Toucan Synth Only album is the next one after this one coming up. So I'm afraid yours won't be till about, I don't know, December next year, maybe even 2025. But I'll definitely do myself a track. So yeah, John Matthews of Toucan Studios. If you use Reaper, he has a synth that you can get from the repack thingy, which I find hard to explain because it confuses me. So, oh yeah, let's kick off. So that's probably a little bit too loud. I'll bring that down. I have it. Right, hey. Yeah. Let's throw some. Let's develop this drone a bit from elements, and I'll get some LFO from the Ornaments and Crime here into some of these bits and pieces here. So, save position. Brightness, perhaps. What else? Let's do that one. One more. Let's go there. Let's do that one. So that's a Elements drone that's drifting in and out or changing in over time there. Sure not missed anything. Oh yeah, so I'm trying a different light as well. I do actually have. If I just turn, let's put the other camera on. Let's turn off the mobile camera and go to that one. So if I just stick a view over, so you see I've got that lamp there with the disco lighted, but it's just not, you can see it on the ceiling, but it doesn't really, it's not really visible. So this, in the ceiling light, I've got, so if I stand under that a second, you can see on my head now it changes. So it's yellow, green, blue, purple, a magenta colour, and I think there's the red, red. So it just like cycles through the colours. That's normally on top of a bookcase that I've got over there. So yeah, because I thought the disco light was just a bit too strong, really. Yeah, matrix mixes. I mean, I actually have. I've got a matrix mixer in the Distinguee X, but I've not got my head around it, and it just doesn't seem right to be using the Distinguee X as a mixer for some reason. I just don't fancy the idea, but yeah. Just looking at the faffing with the maybes there with all the second sequence. Maybe too complicated now. Morning, Steve. Hey, no, there's no late books here. No late books here, mate. Yeah, that's I got out while I could from the pub last night. It was about 1 o'clock by the time I got to bed, and then I have to read my book for a little bit. So I had to put my alarm on this morning to get up for this. I'm going to sit down. I was going to try and play some sequences, but I can't be bothered. Hey up, Space Drifter! Steve! Wow! Good to see you, mate. Not much going on here at the minute, to be honest. Most of this morning's faff was getting the sine wave sequence going. So like just 6 sine waves making up a single patch. So yeah. Okay, Alex, thanks for joining. Yeah, cheers, man. I'm gonna just bring down Elements a little bit more. It's a bit too loud, Elements. I mean, I'm looking at span here, and it's a right mess, mix wise. So, what shall I do? Bit of guitar again. Time, isn't it? My goodness. I don't know, it seems to have in some ways it's dragged a bit today, because I don't know why. wondering how many sequences I had on this one from last time. Oh, I see. I remember that. Number 3. This track is not going to become a track. It's just yeah, me too, Steve. Yeah, I've loved sequencing music since I was about 13 or 14 when I first discovered Tangerine Dream. I thought, what's that? So I'm just kind of faffing around now. Should I try for a performance? I don't know. I'll stand up. He says, getting up, try not to break the guitar. And then I pulled my headphones out of the socket. That's what I'm doing. Fortunately, it doesn't affect you. Cables everywhere down my feet. So let's take this down. So we'll take Mavis out of the equation for the minute. The pressure's on. Man, I don't know. Let me have a think about that. Actually, I mean, it's what I'm doing at the moment. It's not even so. Right, my next album. I want it to come right back to like basic drones and soundscapes. No sequences, just reverb, no delay. With sort of like atmospheric, like a bit like the next SEM compilation that's going to get released. So along those sort of lines, really. This sequence of stuff that I'm doing is just a bit of a diversion, really, coming up to Christmas, I guess. Yeah. Well, what did that take us to? 1:15. Right. Okay. Hey up, Robert. Oh dear. I think they do, Steve. Yeah, I think they do. It's just it's not normally me. I mean, I noodle over stuff. I never really strum. So this recent sort of strumming thing is it's quite a new experiment. I mean, I've been strumming guitar for years, but not with this sort of stuff. Yeah, not with this sort of stuff. Well, that was interesting, that wasn't it? Thanks, Steve. Yeah, a bit early. 1 o'clock. I tried to go up to 1 o'clock roughly, so it's like a 3-hour stream. Shall I try another performance? Let's put these down. What happens if I just start that one first? Not overly enamoured with that, to be honest. What's the next one like? Probably go to that one straight away. Let's bring in elephants. going to start singing. Is. Set his guitar off. Let's turn off the wobbly camera. Oh, sit down. Oh, thank you. Oh, all right, Elias. Cheers. Okie dokie, Steve. Yeah, not sure when you posted that, but yeah. Oh, Rip. Hello, Rip. Rip's coming for a look. I hope it was all right for you, Rip. There, bit of guitar strumming stuff. But yeah. I think I'm just about done, really. I'm out of ideas. Because I've done that strumming thing for a couple of streams now, and but not actually got down to a point where I'm going to put it down onto an actual track. But yeah, I mean, I think it was mission accomplished with the sine wave stuff. So as the title of the live stream was, give me a sine. So 6 sine waves to create that blocky sequence played by Metropolis. Yeah. Hiya, Will. can't really think of what else to do, to be honest. I suppose I could just sit back here and I don't know whether you noticed or not, but I was kind of struggling really. Creak a chair around here. I was struggling to find the right notes and the right times because, well, it's Mixolydian. This it's. So I think there were some like sweet spots that I kept missing. So playing the solos. Because I make no secret of the fact that my timing is pretty terrible, which is why I play to drones a lot of the time and not to an actual beat, because I cheat. It says me playing in time. I'm just a lazy person. So let's, I'm not going to keep you any longer. Christmas is coming. I'm sure we've all got stuff to do. I've got a few bits and pieces to do now before. I would like to have joined Ramsey's. Yeah, cheers, Tom. Yeah, I'm going to start packing up now as well, to be honest. So that's that gone. Turn the West Pest down. And that's it. Silence. And all I can do is thank you all very, very much again for tuning into my my live stream. Yeah, cheers, Keith. Yeah, I'll try and make it. I'll have to do a few things first, really. Got some tidying up to do downstairs. But yeah, thank you very much again, everybody. You amaze me. Thank you for coming in, Steve. I look forward to getting, I've not heard any of your stuff for a while, so hopefully we'll be hearing some stuff from you soon, Steve. Yeah, have a great weekend. Thank you, Telly. So, yeah, Telly, Tom, Steve, Graham, Keith, Jack, sorry, not Jack. Jack, got it right this time, I think. Klaus, Chris, Will, Rip if you're still here, Davy, Luke, Steve, who's already gone. Yeah, I'm not going to go through everybody because I'll just lose count. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, look forward to that anyway, Steve. And I'm going to say goodbye.